Today we're looking into the pretty amazing travel life of Sarman and Bahar.
Yeah, this couple from Connecticut.
Right. And they've explored, what, over 100 countries, all 7 continents?
That's it. And they've done this while both holding down full-time jobs.
Which is kind of the kicker, isn't it?
Exactly. So the sources we have, mostly from their website, give us a really good look at their adventures, but also their thinking, their philosophy behind it all.
Okay, so our mission today is basically to unpack their story, figure out what drives them.
Yeah, and maybe pull out some insights for, for ourselves, for anyone listening.
So who are Sarman and Bahar exactly? Beyond the travel, I mean?
Well, they were both born and raised in Bangladesh,
Okay.
moved to the U.S. Over 2 decades ago now.
Okay.
And they live in Connecticut. Sarman works as a business consultant, process improvement, Lean Six Sigma, that sort of thing.
Ah, okay. Efficiency expert. Maybe that helps with the travel planning.
Huh? Maybe.
Yeah.
And Bahar is an engineer specializing in energy management. So, pretty demanding careers.
Definitely. Which makes the whole 100 countries thing even more, well, impressive.
Right. It just makes you wonder, okay, we all have jobs, routines. So why is travel such a massive priority for them? What's the core motivation?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
And their website, especially their philosophy page, gives us some really good clues.
Okay.
But before we get into the why, I think we really need to grasp the sheer scale of where they've been.
Right. Let's paint the picture first.
Okay, so since 2008, over 100 countries, all 7 continents. Just think about that pace.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And the places they highlight, they're not just, typical tourist spots, although some are, but others.
Wow.
Like in Antarctica, I saw that mentioned.
Exactly. Antarctica. They describe it as, and this is a quote, the closest thing on Earth to another planet.
Wow.
Something that, quote, truly doesn't belong to us. That gives you a feel for it.
X-ray?
Yeah, definitely. A sense of awe.
And then completely different. They've been way up north. Arctic Circle, Disco Bay, Ilulissat in Greenland.
So glaciers, icebergs.
Immense natural beauty, yeah. Polar opposites, literally.
And what else stood out?
Well, Jerusalem, they talk about it as this central point for Abrahamic religions. A path between heaven and earth almost.
So deep cultural and historical significance there.
Right. And then Africa, the Masai Mara, the Serengeti.
Ah, the classic safari destinations.
Yeah, but they describe it as perhaps the most amazing wilderness out there. Serengeti means endless plains, and you really get that sense from their writing.
You can almost picture it.
Then there's Morocco and the Sahara Desert. They have this great line, "Let Sahara set you free."
I like that. Evocative.
Isn't it? And Egypt, they call it the time machine.
Oh, okay. That's perfect for Egypt.
Right. If you ever dream time travel, Egypt is the closest you can get. And the Galapagos, naturally, the land of evolution.
It really is like a greatest hits of unique world experiences.
Totally.
Yeah.
Plus, they've actually been to the geographic North Pole.
Seriously, the actual North Pole.
Seems so. And also Kapamakarula in Kruger, South Africa, for wildlife.
So the breadth is just incredible. It's not just focused on one type of travel.
Not at all. And their country list confirms it. You see places like Australia, Bangladesh, Canada, Czechia, Egypt, Greenland, India.
Yeah.
It's all over the map.
Truly global.
And they share this stuff too. They have a YouTube channel, and apparently they've been featured on Bangladeshi TV talking about their Antarctica trip.
Interesting. So that's not just for them. They're putting it out there.
Yeah. Suggested desire to maybe connect or inspire others, perhaps.
Could be. Okay, so that sets the stage. Incredible scope. Now, let's get back to that core question, the why. What's the philosophy underneath all this?
Okay, so digging into their philosophy section,
Yeah.
they mentioned their journey together started around 2005.
Right.
And it was built on, mutual appreciation for life, supporting each other in facing challenges. That's the foundation, they say.
That sounds like a strong partnership. Essential for something like this, I'd imagine.
Definitely. And they're very clear. Travel isn't just vacations for them. It's a way of life.
A way of life. That's a big statement.
It is. They talk about how seeing new places, experiencing different cultures, it genuinely changes their perspective, their attitude.
How so?
It seems to foster this deep sense of gratitude, being alive, being healthy enough to see and do these things.
Perspective shifting.
Yeah. And they specifically push back against the idea of luck. They say it's about hard work, sincerity, using those to create the opportunities for what matters to them.
So it's intentional. They're making it happen. It's not just falling into their laps.
Exactly. It's a choice driven by effort and their values, not just circumstance.
That really reframes it, doesn't it? Makes it feel well-earned.
Right. And this kind of leads into how they think about meaning in life. They take this really big picture view,
Big picture how?
like cosmic scale.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of question the ultimate significance of one single life in the grand scheme of the universe, acknowledge how short our time really is.
Okay. So if life is short and maybe cosmically small, where do they find the meaning? That sounds potentially a bit bleak.
But it's not, the way they frame it.
Yeah.
Their answer is experiences.
Experiences.
Yeah, they see life as this collection of moments, of discrete experiences. And for them, making life meaningful is about increasing the diversity of those experiences.
I see. So it's about richness, variety, making the short time count by filling it with different things.
Precisely. Making their brief existence meaningful through experience. And that means focusing on the present moment, treasuring what they have right now.
That resonates. Prioritizing doing and seeing over, say, just having stuff.
Exactly. And to really lean into this philosophy, they made a pretty major life decision.
It was.
They talk openly about deciding not to have children.
Oh.
The reasoning is that you can't sort of do everything fully in one lifetime. And for them, this shared passion for travel, for collecting these experiences, is their main focus.
Wow, that's very direct and honest about priorities and trade-offs.
It is. It really shows how central this is to their life plan. It wasn't an accident. It was a conscious choice aligned with their core belief about what makes life worthwhile for them.
It definitely underscores the intentionality. This isn't just a hobby. It's foundational.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned the practicalities earlier. The sources don't give us a step-by-step guide on how they manage the logistics with full-time jobs.
Right. The focus is more the why.
Yeah. But they do acknowledge it's not easy. It obviously takes a huge amount of dedication, planning.
You'd have to be incredibly organized.
No doubt. Budgeting, scheduling vacation time, research. It must be intense. But the fact they sustained it for so long just speaks volumes about their commitment.
Yeah, maybe those professional skills, process improvement, energy management, maybe they actually help. Efficient resource allocation, you know.
That's a really interesting thought. It's quite possible their professional mindsets contribute to their travel success.
It's not just wanting it, it's structuring life to make it possible.
Exactly. And there's one more piece of their mindset that I found really interesting.
What's that?
They talk about not trying too hard to constantly make life better, but instead focusing on making the best of what they already have.
That's a subtle difference. Not chasing better, but optimizing now.
Yeah, kind of. It suggests contentment, appreciating the present, rather than always striving for some future, potentially elusive state of better.
Which fits perfectly with the focus on the present moment idea.
It really does. It's about gratitude and engagement with what is.
Okay, so listening to all this, the travels, the philosophy, what are the big takeaways here? It's clearly more than just, passport stamps.
Oh, definitely. I think their story is a powerful example that you can prioritize deep passions alongside a normal life, a demanding career. It might take serious effort, but it's possible.
It challenges that someday mentality, maybe.
I think so. It makes you ask yourself, what really brings me meaning? What experiences matter to me? And how am I actually using my time and energy to pursue those things?
Yeah, it forces a bit of self-reflection on values.
For sure. Their whole philosophy encourages that.
Okay, so it makes you think. And maybe inspires you to look at your own life differently.
Absolutely. Which leads nicely into a final thought to leave people with.
Go for it.
Well, given Sarman and Bahar's focus on collecting diverse experiences, on living fully in the present, what kinds of experiences genuinely resonate with you, the listener?
Good question.
And maybe more pointedly, what's one step, maybe even small one you could take, like soon, to start prioritizing those kinds of experiences in your own life?
Right. It doesn't have to be Antarctica tomorrow.
Exactly. Their journey is extraordinary, but the underlying principle that a life rich in experience is often a life well lived that applies to everyone. It just makes you wonder what adventures, big or small, near or far, might be calling you.